and I'll explain why when we get to that part. But very, very effective tool, and not a huge workload, right? So that's basically the point of getting the most out of your content. And then this final point, this is all about the milestone chats that we talked about. Like this is a one-on-two conversation with me and Justin and you, and we're basically going to point out the qualifications that it takes to have the call, so that we can stay in a nice progressive flow, so that you ultimately get a campaign set up and it's working for you. So anything you want to add to this, Justin?
Nope, you pretty much got it covered. So
awesome. The first few minutes of any presentation, I'm always super excited, right? Let's see. So, oh, there we go. This was exactly what I was talking about with the milestone chats. Did we want to go over this overview, or should we bring this up later?
we'll bring it up at the end. I think I gotta remember to put that that cool gift slide in the future with Star Wars. So.
Right. Okay. So keep this slide in mind. This is basically what we're thinking about as far as the milestone chats, so we can keep things again on that profitable trajectory, if you will. So just point out in the questions if we forget to come back to this slide. We'll come back to it, and we can talk more about the milestone chats. Sound good? Awesome. So. Oh, we're already into the homework. I think now I just need to jump to the YouTube channel. Let's not stand on ceremony, right? Right.
Yep. Now we're going live. You just hit escape. Cool.
There we go. And that's my PayPal account, and that's my Facebook account. I have not prepared for this. No, I'm just kidding. Go to the home thing. Did you look out and get a couple of PayPal accounts early on when it was easier to get?
What? It's still really easy to get PayPal accounts, isn't it? I've got like 4.
Oh, well, see, I thought I was fancy because I had 2. Like,
no.
You sound much cooler than me now.
Right.
All right. Okay, so we want to go over to YouTube, and I'm pretty sure, I don't think it matters which example channel. I've got like 4 of them now. But here's what we want to do. We want to optimize the crap out of this. So should we just go ahead, like we've used the HVAC example so many times, should we just keep going with that? Just make one of these example channels I've got into an HVAC channel?
Yeah, either way, whatever you want to do.
All right.
Fine to me.
All right, cool. That sounds, so, I mean, some continuity in the course, right? So here I am at my regular just Zane channel, and I'm going to find, okay, here, perfect. Example channel 3, because I've done this a couple of times. I'm just going to call this is going to be the HVAC channel, and we can change the title. Like I know it said it was initially called example channel 3, but we can change the title, and we can even change the vanity URL. One of the pluses of creating lots of YouTube channels, you have one shot to basically create a name for a YouTube channel after you've already created it. So I'm going over to my channel as just like a quick review. This should look familiar when we last left off. Right? I showed you you go into your Google Plus profile, create the YouTube channel, and it also creates the subsequent Google Plus page. And then we even went on and created a nifty Google Plus community. Right? So that's where we're at this point. Now we want to rewind from the Google Plus stuff and go into the YouTube stuff, right? So as you can see, I'm logged into this channel right here, the example channel 3, and I want to go ahead and I want to start in the Creator Studio. This is the dashboard. This is the back end of your YouTube channel. As the lingo goes in the industry, if someone says the back end of your channel, this is what they're talking about, right? This is the dashboard. It's got the video manager, basically everything that you would need to do to flip any switches or make any bells or whistles go. This would be it. This is also where your analytics live, and this is going to be very valuable to you in the future, but more on that later. Uh, as you can see, this is a very, very new channel. X out of that. Yeah, dashboard, great. Yeah, I don't have any videos. I get that. Cool. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to go into our channel and we want to set channel keywords. But let me make sure that the document that I have, I'm following this properly. All right, here we go. This is the checklist that you should all have access to. If you don't have access to it right now, you should have it very soon.
Yeah, we're
So the first thing
gonna
that I
shoot
like to,
that out.
oh,
Sorry, we're gonna shoot that out tonight with the replay. It will be in the members area for session 3. So
yeah, yeah, there we go. So also keep in mind, you don't have to follow this strictly. This is just what I have found is the easiest flowing way to do all this stuff, right? To go from one place to another. I'm not making double steps, right? I'm not going backwards and forward too many times. But if you don't follow these exact steps in these exact order, in this exact order, it's not gonna hurt your channel or your business. Okay, so again, this is primarily on what I have found to be the most efficient process. But if you have a different process, that's not a huge deal as long as you get each of these things done. Does that make sense? Cool. So with that, channel keywords, that's the first thing that I want to do, and that was the first thing that I wanted to talk about here while we're here live. So I need to move this go to web. Yeah, there we go.
cool. Hey, real quick question
Yeah.
for everybody: does everybody? I mean, everybody's familiar with how to start a YouTube channel, right? Where you could just go to youtube.com and start a channel.
Yeah, that was part of, we explained that in the starting the Google Plus presence.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry,
Yeah,
just had to throw that out there.
I know, but I mean that's good. I mean, like, is everybody with us on like creating the channel and whatnot? And
Over
Tom
50.
has over 50. Nice. All right.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
he
and
has some experience.
hey, real quick, Tom. Yeah, the members area that's been being posted in the Facebook group as well as I've emailed it out after every single session. It's just where all of the replays are posted and everything. So
Right.
cool.
Members area. That's one thing I've really liked about working with Justin. He's got all the um, like the members area stuff. He's able to put that together pretty quick. Whereas, for those of you who are used to my products, it's pretty much like go to the community and that's where you can consume the content. So for those of you who prefer the members area, got to thank Justin for that. So with that said, the first thing that we want to do is we want to add channel keywords to this newly created channel. The reason for this is because there's actually like a set of keywords that are automatically created for a YouTube channel when it's first created. And there's like, I don't know, 6 or 7 keywords. Like it's like a mobile and phone and upload and just some random keywords that are just there by default if you don't put your own channel keywords in there. I don't know what YouTube's deal is, why they want those specific keywords, but it's one of those things that not a lot of people think about, right? So changing those channel keywords, we click on the little icon and we click on this little gear that says YouTube settings. And then in YouTube settings, we want to go to advanced. This is also the same area where you'll create the custom URL, right? I had brought this up before. You can have the same title as a different YouTube channel, but you cannot have the same custom URL, also known as a vanity URL, right? So even though this channel is called example channel 3, I can change the channel to HVAC repair or HVAC repair Utah or Denver or something like that, and then I can on top of it create a custom URL, like again HVAC Salt Lake or Denver or whatever that is, and that's going to help me with SEO as well. This is the web address of your YouTube channel, right? So we'll come back to that in a second. What we want is, did they move it on me? I think they did. Where is?
They always do that.
Sorry, give me a second. right?
It always
No, but
happens to me.
there's a place specific. Yeah, I think it's in this part, in this channel area. Yeah. Okay, see, there's channel settings, and then there's also the channel section. Both of them have an advanced section. Both of them have important things that you need to do. I just confuse them sometimes, right? So we'll come back to that other portion of the advanced settings for what I'm trying to explain to you. Um, Let me just go back through that again real quick. I clicked on the little icon on the right, and then I clicked on Creator Studio. And then in Creator Studio, I came over here to the left, and I clicked on Channel. And then in Channel, I clicked on Advanced. And then in Advanced, this is where I can add the channel keywords. This is what I was talking about. If you don't put any keywords in here, then you just help YouTube rank for some very obscure keywords. So this is where you're going to want to put, I would say, this is where you want to put the broadest keywords. I don't know if you can help me out here a little bit, Justin, but like the widest industry, like if we're talking about internet marketing, then we would say like internet marketing, but also marketing and advertising would be some of our channel keywords, right?
Mm-hmm. Or like online advertising, different things like that. Or HVAC would be HVAC and heating,
Yeah,
ventilation, and air conditioning, things like that.
yeah.
Because that's what it stands for those that didn't know.
Yes. Well, heating, cooling, right? So the channel keywords you want nice and broad to try and get as many people in a generally targeted audience, because you'll be using more and more targeted keywords as you go down, right? So channel keywords, and then you have your playlists, and then you have your videos, and your videos are where you want to have more of your long tail keywords. And so let me know if that makes sense, and Justin, let me know if there's anything you want to add to that.
Makes sense to me if everybody else is following. Basically, yeah. So basically, you're saying channel keywords broad, then you zero in a little bit on the playlist because those are more broad. Like, we'd have a heating playlist. And then
Exactly.
within that playlist, you could have things like, specific videos that would be why it's important to change the filters on your heater or, whatever. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about heaters because it's freezing here.
Yeah.
Makes me feel warm.
Right. Yeah. And I'm waiting for it. I mean, I'm along that same mountain line, right? So I'm like, all right, Utah should be next, but we have some very sunny weather right now, so I'm enjoying it as much as I can. Um, but with that said, these broader keywords, I also want to point out that like I have heating as one word, and then cooling, and then I also have heating and cooling as a phrase, but I have it in quotation marks. When it comes to, and you'll see this later as we talk about a specific setting that deals with YouTube videos specifically when it comes to like keywords and stuff. That tagging system has become more sophisticated. Whereas like for the channel keywords, you still need to put any like keyword phrase in quotation marks, or it won't actually register it as a phrase. So just so that you know, the reason why I'm doing this, if this looks totally foreign to you, it's because I'm used to the olden days of having to make sure that if I wanted a keyword phrase, it was in specific quotes, right? So you still got to do that with channel keywords, but you don't have to do it with YouTube video keywords, thankfully, right? So more broad keywords here, I guess, would be AC, right? And we'll just leave it at this. I think you've got like 500 characters you can put in here for keywords. And as far as I understand with YouTube, if you have less than 10 keywords on a video or a channel or something like that, like if you have less than that, it's not really going to do you any good. So you want more than 10. And I've always heard that like put as many keywords as possible as long as they're related. So more than 10 but less than 100, like try and hit your cap is what I'm saying. Like put as many keywords as possible, but when you do, just make sure that they're all related. You're not trying to do any like, if you're talking about HVAC, don't talk about like baking cookies just because it seems like a popular keyword, right? You want relevant keywords in your tags. That's the best way it's going to serve you, right? But while you can, put as many keywords as possible, right? So there's the rule of thumb as far as keywords go with like channels and videos. In my experience, Justin, is there anything else you want to add to that?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. No, you should be good.
All right, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click save here. Um, as a side note, this was brought up before. Justin had pointed it out, but just as a quick review, since we're in this menu, this is the same menu where you would link your AdWords account to your YouTube channel, right? You click this button here. This should be just a review for most of you, but if you look at this, it just gives you some directions that if you want to link your AdWords account to your YouTube channel, which, I mean, if you're watching this course, obviously you do, right? So you just take your customer ID and you put it in there, and then you click next. Well, yeah, right. You click next, and that officially connects an AdWords account to a YouTube channel. As a side note, you can have multiple AdWords accounts that point to the same YouTube channel, right? I actually have that on a different channel. I have 2 separate AdWords accounts that are connected to the same YouTube channel.
Yep.
So that is possible if you get down to that more complex layer of advertising.
Yep.
Is there something you wanted to add,
Oh,
Justin?
no, just that it's extremely easy to link multiple AdWords accounts to the same YouTube channel. All you have to do is just send the invite and click OK, or plug your, if you click that link your AdWords account, then all you have to do is get your AdWords account number and paste it there, and you're good to go as well.
Yeah, and it's equally simple to then log into your AdWords account and then set your first tracking cookie, which, like with the remarketing list, you can basically set a tracking cookie for everybody who watches a YouTube video on your channel, and that doesn't cost you anything. It's one of those things that it sets it so that when you're ready to do retargeting, it's already set ahead of time, if that makes sense. Did that make sense, Justin? Pretty sure it did.
Yeah, I think so. I follow.
All right, cool. So there's the channel keywords. Again, as far as the Uber optimization goes, if we could take this a step further and say we want example channel to be changed from example channel 3 to something else, right? So I clicked on change, and then it's saying this needs to be done on Google+. Again, this is the subsequent Google+ page, and this is what technically controls the YouTube channel in the first place. So if I'm going to change the channel name, then the Google+ page name is going to change as well, right? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to call this, I don't know, do you got any HVAC people around your area, Justin? I don't know. I don't have anybody.
No,
But I think we wanted to go
really.
kind of like a local angle. Okay. Here we go. Rocky Mountain HVAC. I'm sure you got a lot of Rocky Mountain type names, businesses in your area, right?
We've got
Yep.
Rocky Mountains here.
Yep, same here. So I mean, this could be something down the road if we really wanted to. I don't think so, but you know, either one of us could leverage this in the future, technically. All right, so now we have Rocky Mountain HVAC. If you really want to get nitpicky, technically HVAC would be positioned better SEO-wise if it was before Rocky Mountain, but again, we're not going to mince words on this. This is just to give you the examples that you need. So that's changed. This should follow along soon. It'll change from example channel to Rocky Mountain HVAC. And like I said, I just went from here in YouTube. It took me over to Google+, so this should now change. Yep, here we go. Rocky Mountain HVAC. So I'm just taking just like a totally random channel that I created just as an example, and I'm using that as this example to show all of you that it's really that simple, and you can do this for anybody, right? So now that we are finished with the channel keywords, let's go back to the PDF, and then verifying your channel / becoming a partner. Yes. Next excellent topic. Some very top level stuff. So back into the video manager over here on the left, and maybe it's actually in the channel again. Dang
Yeah, it's under that advanced thing.
It
You
is.
just click on verify right there. Yep.
Oh no, yeah, it's status and features within channel. This is what we want. Yeah, and this is the monetization. Quick thing about this, because you'll want to get familiar with this as well. If there's any issues, this is where you want to go. You can see that community guidelines and copyright. There's a little green dot here. It says we're in good standing. If there's any issue with your channel or any of your clients' channels, you will be emailed, and whatever actions that they want you to take, they'll walk you through those. But if you want to find like direct to the source, if there's any issues, this is the menu that you want to be at, and it'll tell you like, okay, this, take down this video because it has this background music or whatever, right?
Yeah, and like if you do get flagged and you get a strike against your account, which actually happened to one of mine because somebody
Mhm.
flagged one of my videos for copyright infringement, even though it was a screencast video, which drove
Right,
me insane. I was like, oh great, and you can appeal it, but then it takes a little while, and for some reason they ended up denying my appeal on that particular channel, so I have to wait 6 months to get all my features back. So
you're right.
definitely make sure that you abide by their guidelines. Don't throw any spammy terms in the titles. Just as always, be sure to read the terms of service and make sure you follow those because you don't want to put all the work in and then lose your channel. Like once, if you do get flagged, you're not allowed to have longer videos. You can't use annotations. You can't have unlisted videos. It gets ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, a couple of things to add to that. First of all, YouTube has become nicer about this. Like if somebody flags a video, they're not so fast to swing the ban hammer, if you will, right? So don't think that there's these trolls out there who can take down your videos by flagging it. YouTube has become a lot more like a lot less trigger happy with things like that. Um, when Justin talks about spammy terms, we're talking about like really, really spammy terms. Like one thing, for example, was one guy got his channel banned because he used the phrase "one weird trick," and that, from what I've seen, is very, very spam heavy, right? I'm sure you've seen it in a lot of different headlines. One weird trick to remove belly fat. One weird trick to grow your hair longer. Like the one weird trick thing is a weird trigger in our brains that uh, search engines and things like that, advertising platforms, when they see something like one weird trick, that's just like a trigger for them. But if you look at it from a marketer's perspective, right, you've seen it over and over again. This is something when we say spammy, you got to use your gut. If you see something in an advertisement and you go, oh, that's blatant advertising, it's not really helping me, that's what you have to look out for, and that's the kind of language that you don't want to use in the titles and tags of your videos, right? So don't think that this is, I don't want anybody to get scared about the getting your channel, like, be careful with certain keywords because it has gotten a lot less. I don't know, again, like, the YouTube is not as quick to ban channels, and you have to have some pretty, like, I mean, open up your spam folder in your email sometime and look at some of the titles. That's the kind of language that we're saying to avoid, which for most people, it's pretty common practice to avoid that kind of stuff. But for, full disclosure, keep that in mind, right? Um, and then even furthermore, if you do have any issues with the channel, like you get a strike or something like that, you can appeal it and then even take it a step further if you're really attached to the channel. Um, uh, we can go down. We can talk about that maybe in a separate video
I think if
or
someone has
live
an
thing.
issue, let us know. You
Okay,
probably
there we
won't.
go.
It's really not a big deal. It's happened to me once out of all my channels, and that was
Yeah,
because somebody flagged me. And
yeah,
one strike, you get three, so you're fine.
yeah, exactly. And same thing happened to me a long time ago, and I got upset about it for a few minutes, and then went, meh, I'll just start a new channel, which you can do. Even if you have a channel that's been banned or whatever issues you may have had, you can just start another one. It's not that bad. Okay, so with that, this is the status and feature area of the channel. This is where you want to verify your new account. right? And Justin, you said that you had a video that talks about this too?
No, the video I have in section
Pretty sure.
2 is about enabling your account for external annotations. To verify
Ah,
your
okay, all
account,
right.
you got to put a phone number in.
Okay, no, that's perfect. I'll
Yeah.
go into that here. All right, so you can see that one of the first things you want to do after you've added all your keywords to your channel is you want to verify your channel. You can see, click on verify, and this is just so that YouTube and Google can again make sure that whoever's creating YouTube channels can be held accountable if there's any issues down the road. That's really what it is if we want to boil it down, but they want to get a real phone number from you. They're willing to call you with an automated voice message or just send you a text message. So I like to use text message. You just click it, and then whether you use text message or call with the automated voice message, it opens up another field, and this is where you put your phone number. What this does, yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say one thing real quick. They only you can see only 2 accounts can be verified per phone number per year. Really,
Yeah.
really easy workaround. Go to callfire.com and rent a number for a day, and like just buy a number. It ends up costing a couple bucks by the time you're done, and then you can actually send a text message to Callfire and receive it. You can actually have it forwarded to your phone,
Oh,
and then you
nice.
can do as many channels as you would like.
Hey, there you go. I've also used, I've gotten a couple of uses out of creating a Google Voice number. Right, there's a couple extra uses, and then if Google Voice doesn't work, I use sendhub.com. I'm sure there's a couple of you that are listening right now that may even have some extra choices, but long story short, you need to give them some kind of phone number that you can then verify the account, and what that does. I don't have a phone number to do this with, so. But once you do and you verify it, what ends up happening is that all these other things light up. It'll say you have external, not external annotations, but you'll have custom thumbnails, the ID appeals, unlisted private videos, and you'll be available to do live events. That's one of the big things that everybody needs to understand is that you need to have your YouTube channel verified in order to be able to do any live hangouts on air or even YouTube Live, right? So this is very important in the first few steps is verifying the channel, right? Any questions about verifying before we go on into monetization? Not many steps with monetization.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. And honestly, I don't turn monetization on my channels. I make sure that, I mean, especially if you're going to be using them for marketing purposes, you probably don't want your competitors' ads running in front of your video. So I would recommend disabling that. And we can get to that in the defaults in a little bit here. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So for a while, I always just enabled it, just because it seemed like in the past that would make newer features open up for me faster. But I haven't seen that as much anymore. So take it for what it's worth. In the past, having monetizations seemed like I got access to more cool tools more often. I don't see that as much anymore, but there's a lot of things that, in my personal opinion about YouTube, that like YouTube doesn't tell you, but based on your experience, you can extrapolate what you will. So that's my personal experience. And like Justin said, I can set defaults, which you'll be seeing in a minute, to say, okay, all of the videos that I make won't have advertising except these ones, right? You can have these global settings that set everything up, and then you can go back and say, let's go ahead and put advertisements on this video or that video. So it's not set in stone, but there's stuff that can be done with monetization.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, Justin?
No, just that I always enable it and then set in the defaults, don't allow advertisements to be ran alongside my video.
There we go.
So
Yeah,
that's all.
good call. Good call. So that to me is what turns everything on in the back end, right? If you verify your YouTube channel and you monetize it, that pretty much, you're plugged into the YouTube system. Would you agree, Justin?
That mute button. Yeah, definitely. And then yeah, once you do that, you'll have everything, like all those lights will light up green, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah. And Justin has a video about the external annotations, turning that on. That'll be another step, after you've done that, so that you can link directly to your website but we've got that covered. And then paid subscriptions, pretty much you don't have to worry about paid subscriptions until you have at least like 10,000 subscribers on your channel. And at that point, well, we'll probably want to talk to you because you
Right.
probably know cool stuff about YouTube marketing,
Yeah.
right? So those are all the pieces of the channel, and also how to verify your account.
Yeah.
So I'm
Hey,
gonna go
one
look at the
thing though, Zane, can you click that advanced button real quick? We'll just
yes,
run
I
you
can.
through the how to do the external annotations. So once you have it enabled, if you
Oh yeah,
like scroll down, you can see. Oh, it's not there. Well,
no, yeah. See, it's the no, it's the same section. It's in this advanced, right?
uh,
Or no, not
no, I
this.
don't think it shows up until
It's
you enable it. But once you do enable it, you'll see under that advanced tab that Zane's on right now, you will see that that's exactly where it's at. But you just have to have a channel that's been verified, basically.
right. That's right. Okay, yeah,
So,
you're totally right.
so basically, once you've verified your channel, right under this advanced settings area, you'll have a spot that says external annotations. And so you'll click enable. It'll say, hey, here's what you can and can't do. You click OK. And then you have to, the video that I have that's in section 2 will basically walk you through the process to download the file they want you to download, upload it to your website, and verify that you own the channel. And you can also do that
Yeah,
through your webmaster tools, or you have to do it through your webmaster tools,
yeah.
but
In
the video
fact, here,
clips.
let me show all of you this. Like I can switch out of this. We'll come back to this HVAC channel in just a second, but I can give you a very good visual explanation on a different channel, which in the beginning was really frustrating, but we can turn it into a learning experience. So I just quickly switched from that example channel to this channel, this how to sell on Amazon. We'll be talking about this more with the actual ad portion. But this is the channel that we used to get emails so that we could point people to the ASM promotion, right? So this is and we're going to go over the channel portion right here, and then into advanced. And you can see in the status features, right? We were verified. I actually went through the process, got the text message that verify it while I was like flying on a plane and stuff. It just didn't work. So, but you can see like this is the field that it gives you, and then you put your URL in here, and then you click verify, and then it'll say to associate your website, you must verify that you own it, right? So we click on this, the word verify, like you'll see the same exact thing, and then it takes you to this area, right? The Webmaster Central. And in this, it gives you a couple of different options, right? And Justin was talking about downloading an HTML file. There's actually a few more options than that, but I don't know. I think we both agree that downloading the HTML file and then uploading it to the website is the easiest way. Any
Yeah,
thoughts on that,
definitely. I
Justin?
mean, just certain themes with that whole HTML tag that you have to put in, it completely depends on your theme. I'm not the best WordPress person, so a lot of
Yeah.
times when I'm using a theme, I struggle to find the head and all of that. So it's just kind of a pain for me um, to do that because
Yeah.
yeah, because I'm not the best WordPress guy. So the file is usually a lot easier.
Yeah, and Google will give a recommendation. What they base the recommendation on, I don't know. But you have whatever they recommend, and then if you click this right here where it says alternate methods, this is where you can have the HTML file. If you really wanted to, you could use domain, Google Analytics. But to stay on the safe side, just using the HTML file and then following the directions. You can see I clicked on that, and then it says download this HTML verification file, upload it to the website. I mean, even if you didn't know a lot about servers and web design and stuff like that, you could stumble along this process. I know this because I've stumbled along it a couple times, and I've been able to do it. But once you download this file and upload it to your website, then you can go back. Let me go back to my, like when you do it, it takes you back to your YouTube channel. But like I said, we don't have the time to go through each and every step. But once you've gone through the steps, you can go back to your to the back end of your YouTube channel. Almost there in advanced.
Yeah, and
And once we've
the
done that,
video
then
we
I can
have will show all
refresh.
that as well, and you'll see how all that
Yeah,
works. And it should turn green right there and say, okay, good.
yeah, and so then at that point, then you can use the external annotations to link to your website, and it's not just your homepage, right? It's whatever like if you have a specific page that you want to send them to on your website, um, you can send them there. It's not just dedicated to just your homepage, which I thought was nice um, to do. Yeah. All right. We went through, there was a big chunk that we bit off. I wanted to show you the example. Please let me know if you have any questions, but we do have an explainer video in section 2 that Justin did that will walk you through everything. So let's see. Any other questions that are showing up in the chat that we should tackle now before we
Um,
move on?
no, basically, Doug was just asking. It said YouTube lets him enable paid subscriptions. He's not planning to do it right now, but wondering if he should turn it on just because.
Hmm.
I think if you just turned it on, I'm pretty sure you can. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing based on the way the rest of their features work, like monetization, is you can say, hey, this paid or this video is only for those with a paid subscription. So there's no
Yeah.
reason not to turn it on. Really, I'd do it if mine lit up green. Every time I have a green light, I'm like, go, go.
Yeah. No, I agree, and it's nice to see that the subscription rate, unless you got 10,000 subscribers, again, that would be, love to hear from you. But um, that seems to be the pattern. Like it starts out like the new cool shiny tool, 10,000 subscribers, and it drops down to like 1,000, and it progressively drops from there. So I'm with Justin on this. If you've got the green light, then you have done something that YouTube likes, and you're ahead of the crowd. So play around with it. See what you can figure out. So all right, cool. Then after the channel keywords, we talked about verifying the channel and becoming a partner. Becoming a partner, that's the same thing as monetizing, right? They call the monetization platform the YouTube Partner Program because essentially you become a partner. You provide content, they provide the ad, the two of you work together, and you both make money. So you're a partner. Next up is enabling your social tab. Very often overlooked, but this is what I believe separates the wannabe YouTube channels and the actual YouTube channels. If you don't have what this is called, the social tab, right? If you don't have this like turned on, then again your YouTube channel just looks very bland and boring. So let me show you what I mean. If we go to my channel, this is what enabling the social tab creates, right? Um, you get this right here. Basically, you get the channel trailer, right? So this is a perfect example. Now I'm going to switch from this channel to that example channel, the Rocky Mountain HVAC, and you'll see the alarming difference between the two, right? So going to switch back to that channel and go to my channel there. If you're watching this, oh, I want to go to my channel. There we go. All right. So Rocky Mountain HVAC. This has no trailer video, right? Again, if you don't do this, then in my opinion, you don't really do a whole lot of YouTube marketing because this is one of the most powerful pages that are often overlooked, which is the channel page, right? This is the home page of your YouTube channel. This is where everybody can this is your ultimate landing page, if you will. And if you don't leverage this, then you're just missing out on a lot of traffic. So what we want to do is we want to look for these little pencils, right? This is where we can edit stuff, right? We've got a pencil here, we've got a pencil right here, we've got all sorts of places where we can add stuff, and that's where we want to start poking around. What we want to do here is, which one? Edit links. There we go. That's what we want. No, we want to come back to this. We'll come back to this in a second. Back to the home page here. There we go. Okay. We want to edit channel navigation. This is the pencil that we want. Click on edit channel navigation, and this pops up this right here where it says channel navigation, the browse view, right? This is the, again, the social tab, whatever I called it. So we want to click on this. When we enable this, this is what gives us the awesome trailer video, and then also the sections where you can put all your playlists, all that fun stuff. And there's like an extra thing, yeah. Any kind of feed stuff that you can do, like anything that you can, when you can post something and it posts to multiple places, that's what this is basically saying. Like, we're also going to post a notification in your YouTube feed, right? And it's just like any other feed on Facebook or Google Plus or what have you. It's its own little place that you can post stuff. Again, anything that you can post publicly, the more you can do that, the better, right? So always enable that, because that's going to be a really great broadcasting point, right? So I clicked save, and like magic, we now have the ability to put a channel trailer in here, right? And YouTube even gives us a hand on this. It says, tell unsubscribed users what your channel is all about, keep it snappy, try to make it 1 minute or less. Pretty standard suggestions when it comes to any kind of video advertising. If you've been around this industry for a while, you know that the shorter a video is, the better, as long as it captures the attention and gets the point across, right? So if you can do that in a minute or less, then that's great. Like, that's, I mean, you have a perfect business or product that that can be advertised on YouTube. If you don't have that yet, don't worry. Everybody experiences that. So, you know, you'll with our help, we'll iron that out, figure out the best way to leverage this. So the trailer video has always been a large, very effective component to any YouTube channel in the past. It's now that YouTube is catching up with the more successful advertisers and creators on YouTube, that they have now basically installed this this trailer video, if you will, right? And what's even cooler about this is that now that it's set up this way, when it says tell unsubscribed users, it's specifically programmed that when someone comes across your YouTube channel, the trailer will play automatically, and it instantly pulls them in. And so it automatically starts playing, and this is why YouTube says, you know, catch their attention, because if you can't catch their attention, then at the end of the video, instead of showing like related videos like most YouTube videos do, instead it doesn't show any related videos, and it just shows a subscribe button for your channel, just because you put the trailer video in there, right? So it's specifically designed by YouTube for free to help you get subscribers.
Nice.
Again, your YouTube channel is the ultimate squeeze page.
Yeah, and hey, one thing really quick, I just learned this the other day, and I thought it was really awesome. You can actually, when you're running an ad, so when you are running an in-stream ad, right? And you know, we touched briefly on those. Those are the ones, the pre-roll ads, and then when somebody clicks on them, they're taken to a landing page of your choice. You can actually leave your channel subscribe trailer right there, but you can have a specific video that you want, that's not your channel trailer, that's just directly related to your ad, that's placed there just for somebody that clicks through on your ad.
Oh, very cool.
It requires a little bit of URL switching up, but we'll definitely cover that in the next module. But just, that's something that's really awesome. It's another way to just kind of keep the continuity in your funnel going.
Exactly. No, very, very well said. And while you were saying that, Doug actually pointed out he has a hefty subscriber base. So I can see why, Doug, that they gave you the opportunity to do the paid subscription. So again, I just want to just chime in and say, if you've got the ability to do it, give it a shot. Like, when it comes to YouTube stuff, the majority of people don't have as wide of a subscriber base that you do. So take advantage of it while you can, and maybe in the near future we'll be interviewing you and saying, hey, how's this paid subscription stuff going for you, right? So good job on that. Doug, correct me if I'm wrong, you're the jewelry stuff, right? The jewel tool, jewel rule, something like that. Let me know, because I think that's got some decent search volume behind it as well. Looking forward to the milestone chats. All right, cool. Yes. All right. So with that, everybody's on the same page with like the trailer video and the importance of it. It can be leveraged both organically and paid traffic. This is not something you want to overlook, right? In fact, again, if I was selling this to a client, selling my services, one of the things I'd be like, oh yeah, and you're going to get these services from me. And as I'm kind of walking them through this little channel that I've built them, almost kind of like an assumptive close of just like, oh, you're definitely going to want to get a trailer video in here, right? Like it's already there. You set it up, and you're like, oh yeah, don't forget the channel trailer. And then they look at you like, well, can you do that for me? Right? It's good for offline stuff, right? That's my point. So we're all on the same page with that. Let's go back to our snappy checklist. So we enabled the social tab. And the whole point to enable the social tab is not just for the trailer, but also for this right here. You see where it says add a section? Um, the thing that I like the most about YouTube, well, there's so many things. No, actually, one of the most underserved and underutilized tools in YouTube, in my opinion, are playlists. And I touched on that a little bit in the channel keywords, right? I was talking about having very broad keywords for the channel keywords, and then you can get more niched down as you create playlists, right? This new fancy update with YouTube, um, sections are where playlists are displayed on your YouTube channel. All right, now I'll explain a little bit deeper, but this kind of confused me in the beginning. If you want your playlists to show up on your YouTube channel, and you do, because if they're going to land here and see a trailer video, then you want to direct them to other content after they're like, yeah, I'm subscribed. By having sections in here, in fact, I'll show you a perfect example. I even brought it up earlier, right? I'm going to search for Mike Chang. That should be, yeah, a sufficient search. Let's go to this dude's channel. And I certainly hope that there's a better example that shows up soon, because I'm tired of searching for six-pack abs over and over again as like the master example. Um, you know, why not? Now I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of something funny. Anyway, here's a channel of this is kind of the end result that you're looking for, right? A snappy channel trailer, and then here are all the playlists. These are the sections, right? So you see Rocky Mountain HVAC where I have the add a section button. That's exactly what Mike Chang did. He just added these sections, but he created playlists first that he could put in these sections, right? This is what I want to point out first before we actually go into the setup is you see this one, this one's called How to Lose Belly Fat. This one's called Workout Video, No Equipment Needed. How to Get Six-Pack Abs. I mean, like these are phrases and keywords that people are typing in. This is perfect for the end user search, right? I don't know if you have anything you want to add to this, Justin, but like what you want to do is you want to contour topics that you want to tackle that you know have a lot of potential for lots of videos, and that's what you want to have as a playlist, right? And this is the example, I think, one of the best, because Mike Chang is really dialed into all this.
Yeah, I mean, and it kind of goes back to what you were just saying earlier, Zane, about how your channel keywords should be more broad than each of the, playlists or sections or whatever should be a little more narrow, and then each of those should, you know, dive even deeper, or all the videos within each of those dives even deeper.
Exactly, exactly. And this is again why we insisted that the session 1 and session 2 was all about deciding what products that you're going to sell, because why make content if you're not going to eventually make money out of it, right? So we wanted to make sure that was the first thing we taught you, then how to assemble the skeleton, the structure of a funnel, so that when the time comes that, okay, because after this optimizing the channel, we also want to be talking about content ideas, because and Justin and I were just barely talking about this a little while ago. There are so many tools out there that make it super, super easy to create content, or to have outsourced and have somebody else create the content, as well as all the stuff that I talk about with the Google Marketing Immersion class that you're all a part of that I hope you're enjoying, I talk about taking topics and leveraging them through Hangouts and whatnot. There's really no excuse to not have YouTube videos. And if you're part of this, you also know that video content is very, very crucial in order to make this work. So want to remove all the barriers so that you understand that when you get to this point, it's time to start thinking about content, which is why research is so important, so that you can have the most effective playlists and very effective YouTube channels, so that you can start pulling in some serious dollars like this guy. I mean, I don't know, Justin, have you heard any of the latest statistics with Mike Chang of how much money he's making? I know it's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know, but he's ripped.
And with almost 3 million. Yeah, so I've heard that he makes a good $2 million a month, right? So he's in a very active marketplace, and there's always people buying health products. But I also bring that example up to say, listen, there isn't really like an overboard with this stuff. Like, oh, you're doing too much optimization, because if you have the potential to make $2 million a month, it's worth doing a couple of videos and doing a little bit more work as you see fit, right? So again, I point this out all so that we can come back to this concept of sections, because you can't leverage sections without without playlists, right? So with that said, I'm going to click on my icon and go back into the Creator Studio so that I can make a playlist, and then from there, I'm going to put videos into that playlist so that I can display the playlist in the sections on the YouTube channel. Are we still on the same page? That's the whole full circle point of why we're all doing this. So just want to make sure that you're still all with me. Again, we're making playlists so that we can put videos in the playlist so that they can actually display on the YouTube channel in the sections, right? All right, cool. So from here, I'm going to click on Video Manager. And from Video Manager, there's an option here that says Playlists. From Playlists, we click on this button right here that says New Playlist. And this is where we put in the title, right? I don't know why it's given a bunch of numbers, but that's the recommendation for the playlist title, apparently. This is where also keywords are important. So I would say, here we go. So the channel is called Rocky Mountain HVAC, so that we could technically, if we wanted to, share the leads from this channel between Justin and myself. So we could do Salt Lake City HVAC, right? And since I'm here, I might as well create another one, right? Y'all see where I'm going with this? I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna create another playlist. I'm gonna call it Denver HVAC. Right? So now, in the playlists, we have Salt Lake City HVAC and Denver HVAC. Now, from this point, we can take this and we can load them into the sections on the YouTube channel. But keep in mind that they won't display in the sections unless you have a video in there. It's not the end of the world, even if you don't have any YouTube videos on your channel. One of the great things about playlists is that you can put other people's video in your playlist, right? So I'll just go grab one real quick here, and I'll put it in both of them just as a quick example. HVAC. That should be enough. Shouldn't have too obscure. Yeah. Another day in the life of a HVAC technician. Perfect, right?
And there was somebody running an ad.
No, you can see like they're running an ad right here. So, right.
No, I meant right
Skip
above
ad.
that. There was somebody running an in-display ad for some cooling thing.
Oh, really?
Banner blindness, man. Come on. No.
Yeah. Well, I guess I missed it. But like we can Oh, it was there for a second. Okay. We can either take this URL right here and then put it in and add it to our playlist, or we can just go to the video itself. And this is pretty slick. Not more. Here we go. Share. If you click on share, or nope, not share, add to. They have so much similar terminology, right? Add to, share, whatever. Okay, so I can go just to the specific video and make it easier on myself and say, I want to add this video to both the Denver HVAC playlist as well as the Salt Lake City HVAC playlist. Now I have at least one video in each of the playlists, so it'll actually show up on the YouTube channel. Okay, so again, all I did was go into playlists in my YouTube channel, clicked on new playlist, gave it a name, preferably anything, if you want to rank for things, right, you want to have your keyword in your title of your playlist. But the most important thing is to have content related to the playlist title inside the playlist, which is why I found this YouTube video, which says Another Day in the Life of an HVAC Technician. It makes sense to the end user. It makes sense to YouTube and Google. So that's why playlists rank, right? Because it's relevant and it's a lot of like clustered relevance. So it has that extra SEO boost that no one really thinks about, but it has the nature of volume on its side. And as a final note, keep in mind that you don't have to have your own videos to populate playlists, and over time you can swap out other people's videos and put your own in there as you see fit. Make sense to everybody so far? Before we go on to the next step.
Got it.
Bradley says good stuff. All right, excellent. Yes, thanks. Okay, good. So the next thing that we need to do now that we've created the playlists, now we need to make those playlists display on the channel. So we're going to come back up here, click on My Channel, and I'm going to click on Add a Section. And now you have two options. And if this is a new channel, you can see that YouTube is going to want to walk you through it. I would follow YouTube's directions if anything is different in what it says here. Like if this tells you to do something different than what I'm telling you, follow these recommendations because they're coming straight from YouTube, right? So, but just as to keep the flow of this presentation, you've got the content and you've got the layout. There are only two options for a layout. You've got horizontal and vertical. Did you want to add something, Justin?
Oh, I was just going to add that, yeah, they change everything all the time as well. So, if you are watching this in the future, do what YouTube says, like Zane said.
Yeah, exactly. And this is one of the things that I hope to remove any technical headache, which is, this is why I have the Google Marketing Immersion class as a bonus, because I review this content monthly in case something changes. So good to point out, Justin, also as a nice reminder that there is more updated content specifically about this, setting up Google+, Hangouts, YouTube, that kind of stuff. So if you're seeing this at a later date, total confirmation would be like, check out the next Google Marketing Immersion class. So as far as layout goes, again, horizontal or vertical, they look pretty much the same. They give you a little thumbnail, a little bit of a description. The direction of the layout is entirely up to you, right? The recommendation that I would give is, again, consider the user experience. They're landing on your channel, they're seeing the unsubscribed video. If they're already subscribed, there's another like recommended video that starts playing instead. And then you start thinking about, okay, if I'm the end user and I'm on this channel, what would be the first thing that I would want to see after the trailer video? And boom, that's the first section that you show them, right? That's the first playlist. And then start going with more subsequent stuff. So I like horizontal row for the first thing because it shows a good block of videos right underneath the unsubscribed, the trailer video. There we go. So next we come to content, which as you can see, like you can actually fluff up your channel with what looks like a lot more stuff than there really is. Which again, if you don't have as much content, you can do in the beginning, but you can say like, here's on my uploaded videos, but I also want to display videos that I liked, or I want to post, I want to say here's some upcoming events, like these playlists can display like there's going to be an event happening now, and it'll actually have like its own section for live stuff or upcoming stuff or any Hangouts or YouTube live events that have been completed. So again, as you can see, you can select content and basically repeat the same stuff over and over again through different versions of a playlist and make it look artificially bigger than it is, if you really want to. But the better rule of thumb would be just to add more content. But if you really want to, go nuts. What I'm looking for is this playlist section where it says single playlist, right? And it gives me another option, choose a playlist. Again, this is exactly why we created those playlists, so we could find the playlist and say, okay, here we go. Here's the playlist, and this is what I want to display. And this is what the horizontal layout looks like. Vertical, again, not a huge difference. It just moves the information from one side to the other, right? So I'll do vertical on this one, and then I'll add another section, and that'll be this single playlist, and we'll do horizontal, and we'll choose Salt Lake City. There we go. Now this is shaping up to be a nicer looking channel, right? We've got a channel trailer, and then we've got two playlists that are being displayed in this section, so that again, if somebody is on the channel, like the home page, they can get a really good idea of what the channel's about and whether or not they want to move forward. Do they want to click the link? Do they want to add their email address? Do they want to call the business? Whatever it is, the home page, again, the YouTube channel homepage, this is where you can start that conversation fresh, right? And that's what it's designed to do. Also keep in mind these tips over here. If it's giving you a call to action, like you should do something to fill out extra information, you definitely should. So do that, but this is just YouTube's effort to make sure that if you want to create good content, they want to help you as much as they can, even though, like I said, they like to change things without telling us. So now with that said, you've seen how I just basically took the playlist that I created and added it to the section. And you can also see that you can arrange those sections in any which way that you'd like, and even leverage other people's videos as like a place to fill a gap for content that you'll have later on your own channel, right? Does that make sense as we're shaping up this channel here? All right.
Got some yeses in
Good.
there.
Okay,
Cool,
so
cool.
we're doing good on time. Got some yeses in there. Okay, excellent, excellent. So now that we have done that, let's go back to our checklist. Link back to your site. So we did we walked you through the steps of making sure that through the Google, what is it, webmaster stuff, right? How to connect your website. We went through that. If you want more of a detailed explanation, Justin has a video for that. But if we wanted to, I don't know, should we go into the annotation part of this now, Justin, or?
Just like the whole external annotation
I think
thing, or what
we
do you
talked
mean?
about it.
Linking back
Well, it
to
says
this.
link back to your site, and I think that whole verification thing, right?
Yeah, that was. I think I accidentally put that in there twice. Sorry, that was link. Or well,
Oh,
you
actually,
can
no, I
also
know what
link
this
to your
is.
site in the
Yeah,
header. That's what it was.
yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think we got that at the same time. So here's this next thing, right after the sections. We have the channel navigation. Channel navigation is this, right? Stupid YouTube moving things around. All right, so it's here, right? Okay. Yeah, because it's associated with the channel art. So right here, this is the edit links. Oh, and I did want to come back here anyway, right? Because you want to add a channel description as soon as possible, right? Same thing like I pointed out with the whole Google Plus page. You've got an about section. You want to fill that stuff out. You want to tell Google and YouTube what you're all about. So to a slightly lesser degree, but still important. Text is still important to Google and YouTube. So anywhere that you can explain what you do and then work in keywords at the same time, right? Like this channel description, I'd want to be like, I would want to say HVAC repair and installation. right? Some good keywords, and it also would be related to the content on the channel. Again, you don't want to just try and do what they call keyword stuffing and just stuff a bunch of keywords in there as much as you can. You have to assume that every time this section is being accessed, even though most of the time it's being accessed by a robot trying to catalog your stuff, there is also like the potential that somebody's actually going to read it. So don't write these descriptions as something just meant for trying to impress a search engine. People are going to read this, and it does have to make sense, right? So that engagement and being SEO friendly is what you want to go for here. So HVAC repair and installation, um, uh, uh, things about your content, right? That kind of stuff. That's what we want for a channel description. Go ahead and click done. This is a new thing that I think is pretty cool. You've got an email for business inquiries. For a long time, YouTube, I think, resisted the whole marketing, advertising type stuff. But YouTube had to change with the times. So now they're even going as far as saying, if you want to use this for an advertising avenue, then here is something that you can use, and it's just simply this section right here. Put your email address in here, and then when people look at your About section, they have a way to contact you directly. It's a nice little subtle way. Not everyone's going to dig through your channel and find your About section, but I've gotten clients from this just because they said, oh yeah, I was watching your videos, found contact information through that. This is just a little bit easier way of doing it, so people don't have to use the weird YouTube message system, which don't even get me started on that. That's hard to use that. So now they've got the email right here. So next is the custom links, right? So you can have actually a bunch of them show up, but then you can also do more, like not just your website, but also you can put your Facebook URL, your Twitter URL, and what's cool, like you can see, right? So he has this is his website, and it even has like a watch the video now, and then Google Plus. But then since he put his Facebook URL in there, it actually has the icon. So if you also had Twitter in there, it'll show the little Twitter icon. So all you got to do is just put those links in there, and then you can actually like add some text to it. So you can actually have like an anchor link, anchor text link for all of you SEO nuts out there, right? Make sure the word that you want to rank for is connected to the link that you're attaching it to. Right, so this would be a perfect example of doing that, right? I'm pretty sure that's still a thing in SEO these days. I don't know, anything to back up on that, like anchor text, Justin?
Honestly, I'm not.
Just simply put, like yeah. Well, it's been a pretty, I don't know, it seems like a pretty effective thing still. Is that if the name, if there's a keyword, like, so I would want to have HVAC Salt Lake City, right? And then this would be main website URL, right? So it's going to say HVAC Salt Lake City, which is a keyword that I would want to rank for hypothetically with this channel. So I would make sure that the words were keywords that I use when I link to my website.
Oh yeah, you got that switched up though. So HVAC Salt
Right.
Lake City would go for the link title, and the URL would go to your URL. But yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Does that make sense, everyone? All right. What I do know about SEO are things that have worked historically for a while. So if there's any SEO trick that tip or trick that I'm gonna offer, it's stuff that I know that has been like a tried and trusted principle, and I'm pretty sure that the whole anchor text thing, like I'm pointing out here, is still one of those things, right? So that's that point, right, of linking back to your site on your YouTube channel. So now we're getting a much nicer looking YouTube channel, right? So if we go back to the channel here, and you can see, and we even have like one of the things checked off. I describe the channel. If at any point you want to see what it looks like to the end user, you always have the option right here where it says View as Public. So if I click on View as Public, it's not going to show the trailer video because I haven't uploaded any kind of trailer video, so they just don't see a point in doing that, right? But it does show the playlists, the sections here, because I've actually loaded a video in those two playlists, right? So this, I think, is a great feature that YouTube just recently added. where you can actually switch between your view and public view to make sure that, again, you're offering a good user experience, right? So neat thing with the public view, we've got the linking the channel, the trailer. I think the next thing is, yeah, we got the channel description in there as well. The default settings. This one's pretty good. I like this one. Huge time saver as well, right? So what we want to do is we want to click on our icon and go back into the Creator Studio. And in that Creator Studio is where we're going to be able to set some defaults for any YouTube video that we upload. And I believe it's also for any video that's any Hangout that you do. Right, so imagine if you have a whole bunch of keywords that you want to rank for, or you have a pattern. You want to. It's a huge time saver just to have that already set up. And again, another recent thing that YouTube has done is given us the ability to say, I want this baseline of well, not just keywords, but this is also what I always want my description to say. This is the setting that I want. They're basically a bunch of defaults, right? So once you get into a groove, and you have some content that you like and you know that there's more content that needs to be produced, this is a perfect this is a perfect tool for you, because it means that you don't have to go back through every single video and change the keywords one at a time, right? So that's what I'm doing here. Within your channel section, we visited this quite a bit, you can see right here, underneath status and features, there's upload defaults. And again, this isn't just specific to keywords. This is also the title, the description, and how you want to have it set up, right? You can, one thing, if you plan on having like a lot of content, like, live content and constant uploads and things like that, having some kind of schedule would be helpful for you, and then also these defaults. So I bring that up because the first setting that you have is public. So you can say, like, every single video that I upload, I want to make sure is unlisted, and then from there, I can schedule schedule a system of videos that go from unlisted to public, right? So I've always liked uploading videos unlisted first, just so that I get to decide at which point the videos are public, and then I can really push marketing stuff one way or the other. It's like having unlisted is kind of like a staging area, if you will, right? Because it's not showing up in the search engines yet because you haven't made it officially public, right? So to each their own, but if I'm going to set up defaults for my YouTube videos, I want to make sure that I have total control. So I'll set it to unlisted first, and then and then I'll set a scheduling time, right? Same thing with category, right? Most of us, it's how to and style, but if you have if you don't have a category that you feel like you fit into, how to and style and news and politics seem like the safest places to put your content. Again, unless you have something very specific, like for a while I was doing a lot of gaming YouTube channels. So that was really easy. I didn't have to go outside of it. They have a specific category for it. But if they don't have a specific category for you, again, a good safe bet is to go with news and politics or how to and style. Again, there's no real like optimization benefit that I've seen so far. Licensing, you're going to keep this as a standard YouTube license unless for some weird reason you want to get your content out to potentially everybody. And then if you say, yes, Creative Commons content, then people can actually leverage your content through the YouTube editor. So keep that in mind. If you want to use Creative Commons, that means that you are basically giving up your rights to your content, and anybody can use it as long as they give attribution, which, again, if you use the YouTube editor, attribution is done automatically. So don't worry about the license. Again, it's a very, very rare breed of people that would want to use Creative Commons. So you're safe with just the standard YouTube license, right?
Real quick on the Creative Commons things as well, Zane. On the
Mm-hmm.
flip side, if you are looking for content to put on your channel, you can do a quick YouTube search for your keyword, and then where we showed you the filters, where you can search by channel or video or all that good stuff, you can actually search by Creative Commons and find videos related to your topic, and use
That's
them
true.
on your channel. You can do whatever you want with them. You can use them for ads even.
Yeah, yeah. You can search it through. through the YouTube search engine, and then there's also a little search bar you can use in the editor that I'll be showing y'all in a little bit. But good point, very good point. In fact, like the whole channel thing that you showed me a little while ago, I had a more complicated way of doing that same thing, and I was like, oh, that's actually much faster. But again, more things that we can bring up later. Is everybody grasping this whole default thing, right? These are global settings. Like if I can go into more fields and explain each point, but I think we're all on the same page here. But I just want to make sure before I move on, the whole defaults thing, right? You can say this is the title I want to use all the time. I wouldn't use the same default title, honestly, just because like your titles are going to vary, and that's one of the most effective things when it comes to ranking a video is the title. So I would leave that blank, but if you have a description, if you have a website you always want people to go to, then I would always have the full URL right here in the description as a default, right? And then I can always add more to it later. And then down here in the tags, right? So this would be like we're going with the whole HVAC thing, right? Oh, yeah, HVAC. Here we go. Thanks, Google, helping me out with those keywords. All right, so you can just keep adding. You can add keywords here, and it sets to the default. Yeah, everything else is pretty self-explanatory. Anything else you'd want me to go over here, Justin, or any questions that you're seeing pertaining to defaults?
Looks like there aren't really any questions now. But Bradley had a good point on the anchor text and all of that with your channel
Oh, right.
and SEO. He said it is with the whole anchor text thing, and it's a do follow link, and it's the only do follow outbound link in YouTube. So
Excellent. Good point. Good point.
thanks for that, Bradley.
Yeah. So one of the best. So that tells me that's one of the best places to have your anchor text because it is a do follow, right? It transfers your SEO juice along the way. So all right, cool. Thank you again. So that's all the aspects of the defaults. Saves you a bunch of time, and especially if you have like a website you want to drive people to, you already spent all that time and effort linking it through the external annotations. You might as well have it automatically set to always display in your description. And I always have this, if you're going to have a website in your description, always have it within the first 2 lines of text here. Because then when it shows up like in the Google search or the YouTube search, your website URL actually shows up as clickable text. So there is a potential of people going, nah, I don't need to see the YouTube video. I want to go straight to the website, right? Also having the description in the first 2, or having your URL in the description of your YouTube video also keeps it above the fold, as they like to call it in the internet marketing terms, right? You don't have to, it's still in your line of vision on your screen before you have to scroll down, right? So by having it, again, your URL in the first 2 lines of your description ensures that it's visible in search, on the watch page, when you share it on social sites. Keeping it there keeps your URL present whenever you're going to share it. And again, the intent in my mind is to if there's the potential of someone going, nah, I don't see the YouTube video, I want to go directly to the website. I mean, that's what you ultimately want, right? Like, we're using YouTube traffic to drive people to the website. But if they don't need to see the YouTube video and they just want to go to my website, that's totally fine by me. So that's why I put my URL in the description of my YouTube videos, and why furthermore I would want to set it up as a default so I never have to think about it and it's always there. Make sense? Let's see. So there's channel description, default, and then channel art. And we already did sections and playlists. We're moving right along. So channel art over here has been like the big gaping hole as we've looked at the YouTube channel, right? If we go back to the YouTube channel, we can see right here, it even has a button, a little call to action that says add channel art. Now this is something that I always hand off to somebody else because I'm not a designer. I do this every time, whether it's a client or somebody else. Well, I've even done this with Justin, right? Oh, I'm pretty good with this stuff. Cool. Here's the information. You do the work, Justin. So this is exactly what I do, whether it's like somebody from a Fiverr gig, an outsourcer on Odesk, or me and Justin have some sort of crazy harebrained idea, and we need channel art, right? So all I did was click the button that said Add Channel Art, and then I'll grab this where it says Recommended Channel Art. Of course, it's not letting me highlight it, but I tell people, I say the image needs to be 2560 by 1440, just like you're looking at on the screen. Now here's the thing. Um, some websites will let you take a smaller image and then it'll just stretch it to the dimensions that it wants. YouTube doesn't do that. It'll say it has to be at least 2560 by 1440 to actually be uploaded in there. But if you have an image that's larger than this, it'll shrink down. All right, so just keep that in mind. If it's smaller than these dimensions, YouTube won't even let you upload it. But if it's bigger, not a problem. Now, the reason why you're seeing such a large file dimension size is because we're in the future, right? So when it comes to YouTube, it can be viewed on multiple platforms. So they're trying to adjust all the different ways that you're going to be consuming this content if you just so happen to land on the channel page, right? So there's a size for mobile, there's a size for television, and there's a size for computer. That is the reason why this is so big, because they want to be able to resize and still make it look good. This is also the other reason why I have somebody else do this work, because if I had to do it, I would spend a ridiculous amount of hours trying to make sure it was just perfect, right? I tell you that to tell you this. On this same window here, there's this link that says how to create channel art. I also send this link to whoever, who's foolish enough to say, hey, I can do that. Cool, here you go, right? But I send this link right here to that same person so that they can like get their own little tutorial of exactly how YouTube wants it. Right, here's a video that explains it. Here's some step-by-step guidelines, and then even here's a picture, right? It says, okay, so it tells you this is the dimensions for television. That's the 2560 by 1440. Desktop max, tablet max, and this is what they're talking about. This is what I think is most crucial that designers need to understand, is that even though you have this gigantic image, there's only one place where it shows right here, the text and logo safe area, which is the middle of this giant image, right? So you see what I'm saying? You see where when it comes to making sure like the desktop and tablet can be seen properly, most of the time people are only going to see this text and logo safe area, right? So that's the safest bet. But you can't just put up any image that size at 2560 by 1440, or else you're going to get a weird look. And I'll show you exactly what that weird look looks like, because I just so happen to have an example of that.
Nice. And they actually, they actually have templates on. I think it was that website you showed a minute ago.
Oh, this one. Here?
Yeah, they have the downloadable template right under that you can then pass on.
The size guide. Okay, yep. Channel art, yeah, Photoshop and fireworks.
Yep.
Nice.
So just a heads up there, that this is also the page that I send to everybody as well, and I'm like, here, just download this file and use that template.
Yeah, so you can see, like, this is, we've used this example a couple times before, but the 5 stars of video, when this was originally brought to one of the designers, again, they made this mistake. They didn't have the text logo safe area, so this is the effect that we ended up with. Doesn't look too professional, right? Like, it's the same sort of thing. If we had one of our end users end up on this page, it would look okay because there's plenty of content here. They can consume the smaller clips, and they've got the trailer video here. But when you land on this, you go, okay, it needs a little bit of work, is all that I see. So this image just needs to be manipulated in such a way where what you see is our 5 smiling faces in this area, right? So just so that you're all on the same page, because I've run into this situation. Everything that I've pointed out, from the file size to the text safe image, this will all save you a lot of time. Make sure that whoever else is doing it, that they're given all the proper instructions, is really what I'm driving home here about. So I'm going to switch back to the Rocky Mountain HVAC real quick and see if there are any other questions here. Oh, back to that Rocky Mountain HVAC. Again, I went to the YouTube channel itself and clicked on Add Channel Art, and this is where it gives us the recommended art size, and then here's the URL that gives you some tutorials and some suggestions. Again, I send the dimensions and this link to whatever designer. This can even be a Fiverr person, right? Because it's really, really simple. All they're doing is giving you an image and making sure that that image is placed properly within the much larger image, right? Anything else that you wanna add to that, Justin?
Nope, not particularly.
All right, cool. If you really don't like that background, which I don't, I always click on this where it says gallery and just find a placeholder image until I have something that I like more. Just looks a little bit nicer. So like this little skyline looks cool. You can play with the crop, right? And it even shows you like this is what's going to be the text safe area, the text logo area, right? So you can crop it. All right, looks good to me. Select it, and bam, there you go. You have a nice new background. And again, it can be a little placeholder that you use, but the other background isn't the end of the world either, right? So those were all those pieces. I noticed so there's channel art, and we talked about sections and playlists already. Again, these are the sections, and we put the videos in the playlist, which we already created. So there's that. Let me know if you want to do like more of an overview on that. But on the final point, we have enabling external annotations, and I think after that, like if we want to go into more questions, or if Justin, you had some points that you wanted to bring up.
We already covered the external annotations.
That's right, we did. All right,
Yeah.
so that's everything.
Yeah. So go ahead and jump back to the slides. Go over, or well, I guess first, does anybody have any questions? We'll do Q&A real quick here.
Yeah.
And then one thing I wanted to bring up was, where is that? Oh yeah, so Doug said he was going through the enabling the paid channel feature right now, and he just said, be careful not to accidentally convert your main free channel into a paid channel because it will automatically unsubscribe all your free subscribers on your channel.
Whoa.
So you have to create a new channel that will be specific for your paid videos. So just
Wow, I hope you didn't have to learn that the hard way.
right?
Yeah, okay, well, good to keep in mind. I hope that's not the reason why he left. Oh no, I gotta go. Yeah, okay, sorry. Um, Good to know on that part. I want to see there. I want to just check the mind map. Um, so yeah, I think after this, if we don't have any questions, then we want to go into um, homework stuff and milestone-y things.
Yep, we'll talk about the calls and what exactly you're going to need to do to get that, or basically what you need to jump on the call so we can, not waste the 20-minute call, or sorry,
Yeah.
the fraction of the hour call, whatever.
Well, and that is the point where we're talking about this. This is like this is the lecture, and then like the milestones are like the labs, if you will. Like now we're teaching you, now you're doing it. So it's not just another course that, okay, I think I learned some stuff, but I didn't really apply anything, right? So all of this is to lead up so that we can have a more productive conversation on our milestone calls, really. So, seeing any questions coming up yet? Because if not, we can just go over into the homework and the milestones and see if there's any extras as we go along. I'm just going to close out some of these tabs.
Yeah, it looks like we got all the questions answered in the content, so that's good.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so just reviewing this again real quick. You'll be getting this checklist here. And don't be too worried if you don't follow the exact process, just as long as you get the steps done. In addition, follow whatever recommendations YouTube has for you as you optimize your channel, as well as subsequently your Google Plus page. Don't neglect that. You're basically going to be just repeating the same information, so you might as well copy paste, right? So Google Plus and YouTube there. And now we want to go into homework then. So let's go back to the PowerPoint. Here we are. in the homework. Oh, slideshow from beginning. No, no, not. Damn it. Sorry. um, so we'll go over the homework, but we'll come back to the milestone in just a second. So homework is first thing is to start creating content. We specifically went through um, learning about offers, how to identify the best offers, so that creating content will be ultimately the most value. We've given you the information that you need to start doing research so that you can figure out what the best content is. All of the research that we do is all things that we can figure out ways to get people to go to our website and buy our offer. So now is the time to start creating content. And one of the best ways to do that is to think of the fastest way from point A to point B. So to me, and Justin, feel free to chime in if you'd like, but to me, it's to start some kind of hangout with somebody who has a product. And that's the fastest way to creating content that I know will generate income for me. So that's the homework that we want to convey to you, is that it's time to start creating content, and most beneficially would be content that's going to put money in your pocket. Probably, I would say, an affiliate product. Thoughts, Justin?
Well, I mean, it completely depends on what you're offering. Obviously, if you're not going the affiliate route, you know, try and, you know, if you have a product or service to offer, maybe an interview with somebody, or maybe, you know, the unboxing things like we had talked about. Just kind of refer back to, I believe it was section 1 where we talked about
Yep.
all of that. Just refer back to section 1, kind of, you know, check that. That should help you brainstorm some ideas of what exactly you can do for content. But you know, ultimately, it should lead up to the sale. That way, you can start getting sales quickly, or at
Mm-hmm.
least, you know, kind of keep that in mind. Ultimately, you're going to want to put something out there that is going to, you know, lead up to the sale, like we've been saying. So
Yeah. Yeah. With hearing that, I would say in your creating content part, and this actually also ties into the milestone chat that we're going to be talking about. If you're first starting out, I think the first thing would be creating content around ways that are going to get people to your list, right? Start figuring out things that uh, that will that you can leverage for a lead magnet. You see where I'm going with this, Justin? Like we can leverage that into a
yeah,
milestone call.
yeah.
So if
Well,
you're
and
going
that
to
is
start creating content, that
part
would
of
be
it.
the
Yeah.
first way, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Like start building that list if you can. You know, use that external annotation to get people to your squeeze page. So definitely keep in mind the whole lead magnet thing, the whole funnel process we were talking about, uh, and just go from there.
Yeah.
But if you can't do that right away, some content's better than no content. So even if it's not going to sell, just get out there and do it.
Exactly. No, I was just going to say something like unto that. More to the point, if there are like tech pieces that you're still having a hard time with, um, we'll be able to walk you through that. So if you can't figure out like the whole lead magnet structure because some of the tech stuff's getting in the way, just like focus on content that's going to get you subscribers, right? Because subscribers are still just as valuable as people on an email list. So if you can't, again, if you're running into any technical issues, we can help you with that. In the meantime, instead of your call to action being like, click on the link and go to my website and opt in, you can have just a call to action of subscribe to my channel for more. And that's always going to make it easier in the future for anybody else to opt in because you have a little bit more content that builds a little bit more authority. Make sense? So there's the first part. If you have a long video, chop it into sections. And long videos, more often than not, again, talking to the audience that we have, is a webinar, right? If you have access to a webinar that you've done in the past, this is a perfect opportunity for you to mess around with the YouTube editor, which in fact that's a part that we missed. We may have to come back to that, or just make it a bonus video. We'll leave it up to you. Um, I can make a bonus video about the YouTube editor, or after we're done with these points, I can come back and show you a live version. Your
Cool.
call. Let me know.
Yeah, up to everyone. But I mean, honestly, we've been going about, you know, almost 2 hours now. We're almost going to hit that 2 hour mark. So maybe
Yeah,
that'd be better for a video, make it easier for everybody to kind of just jump in and check it out. So
not a problem. Okay, cool. Cool. So no, that brings us to that really good point where it would be logical to talk about the editor, especially if you have a webinar, or if you're like us, like I said, like the fastest way to get somebody, interview somebody, or if you've got some content off the top of your head, or if you've got PLR articles. I've seen that. I've seen a lot of people take PLR content and repurpose it through a Hangout very simply because they have all of the assets that they would need. Right, here's some images, here's some information, blah blah blah. That's another way to get it. But take any long form content that you've got, like a webinar, or even if it's a webinar that you just recorded. I know there's a lot of people out there that'll just record a webinar with Camtasia or something like that, a webinar that they really like. Like, even if you've got just that and it's not technically yours, if you're connected as an affiliate, you can leverage that content and upload it. No one's going to give you a problem about it. But again, the point is to get a longer form video if you have it, and then chop it up within the YouTube editor, because it's very effective when it comes to that. So if you've got it, then chop it up. If you don't have any kind of longer content, try brainstorming some ways to create it so that you can do it, because it's an important part of your foundation, if you will. Or if you want to create a bunch of shorter videos, that works too. The point is just having as many videos as possible, right? Next point in your homework is optimize your YouTube channel and your Google Plus page. Like I had brought up before, like if you're going to be writing a description in your YouTube channel, you might as well copy and paste it over to your Google Plus page. It's going to do nothing but help you get everything, optimized to the greatest possible way that it can be, and then you just don't have to think about it ever again, right? It's a nice solid foundation. And then get ready to set up a campaign. This is what I think excites me the most about this whole process, is that you can build a foundation, and like I've done that many times, and a lot of them, kept doing, okay. But I always knew, like, there's something I can do more, and I just can't figure out what it is. And unbeknownst to me, it was the advertising platform. So once you've got that, there's no reason to just sit there and twiddle your thumbs, or, hey, maybe there's another way we can come up with some content ideas. The next thing that you should be doing is setting up a campaign, which is what we'll be talking about in the next section. So that's why this point here is to get ready to set up a campaign. Maybe even review some of the content in session 2 about researching your marketplace and whatnot, so that, again, our strategy calls can be more effective, right? So once all that's put together, we want to schedule a milestone chat. And just let me know if I missed anything, Justin, but from what we need from you as far as a milestone chat, and you want to write this down. You want to make sure that you have a YouTube. Oh, wait, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, right. Is it next time?
Oh, it was the one right before that, the milestone chat.
Yeah. So
right before home.
Yeah. So there we go. There we go. So this slide here, to schedule a milestone chat, contact either me or Justin. We'll be talking to each other. So whether you reach out to me or Justin, we'll make sure and get that set up. So it doesn't matter who you contact, either or, whatever you get a response from, that's the person to talk to, I guess. But as you can see, we have this set up into 3 different calls, right?
Yeah, well, and the video ads audit as well is
right.
technically a 4th call, but that happens after we've gone through the first 3 calls and we know everything's set up correctly, and you're on the right track. So.
Yeah. So we've filled your head with all of these ideas and all of these tips and techniques. Now we want to make sure we can follow through with all of this, because unapplied knowledge is useless, right? So first call, we just want to make sure that you've done all the things that we've recommended that you do, right? So you've found a good offer, an offer that you like, and it doesn't matter which offer it is, right? We can figure out a way to leverage the traffic trifecta and the video ads. We just want you to meet us halfway and say, listen, if this is the boat that you want to take, then you get to steer. We're going to give you suggestions, but you're the one that it ultimately comes down to, right? We want to remove the dependency of this relationship from mentor to student to like coach to business associate, right? Like, we don't want to keep this a mentor-student relationship. We want to get you up and running so that you can come back to us and we can offer suggestions. But we don't want to ever make it seem like you have to come back to us. No, no dependency, right? So first thing we want is we want to make sure that you have you've thought this through and you have an offer that you want to make. Either this is your own product or it's somebody else's, like it's an affiliate deal.
Oh, crap.
With with um, with